I want to show you a perfect example of how healing can begin with something as small, as simple, and as soft as a change in the way we speak. You don't need to turn your life upside down to start feeling better. You don't have to be perfect, or healed, or ready. You just need to become a little more conscious, just enough to notice the words coming out of your mouth. Because here's the truth. You are not your thoughts. You are the one observing them. And once you become the loving observer of your words, your life begins to shift. You see, every phrase we speak is not just air. It's a message. It's a signal we send to life. It's an instruction to the subconscious. And whether we realize it or not, those words are creating the emotional climate we live in. The good news? We can choose, we can shift, we can begin to speak in ways that heal rather than harm, and we do it one phrase at a time. You might not think a phrase like, "I have to," could block your healing, but it does. It slips in quietly, wearing the costume of duty or responsibility, but underneath it's a thief. It steals your freedom. It steals your joy. When you say, "I have to," what you're really saying is, "I have no choice." You're putting yourself in a position of pressure, and pressure creates resistance. And resistance, my dear, creates pain. Pain is often our body's way of saying, you are not at peace with your choices. So let's shift it. Let's reclaim your power. Instead of, "I have to," try, "I choose to." Doesn't that feel different? Try it with me. Say it out loud. I choose to go to work today because I want to support myself. I choose to show up because I care. And if you can't find a reason, then maybe it's time to question the task, not your worth. The affirmation here is this: I am free to choose what honors me. You are not a machine. You are a conscious, creative being. And you deserve to feel empowered in your choices. Let's move to another phrase we've all said far too often: I should. Oh, that little word. It sounds so innocent, doesn't it? But it's heavy. It carries guilt. It carries judgment. Every time you say, "I should," you're telling yourself you're not enough as you are, that you're behind, that you're failing. But darling, there is no universal standard you must meet to be worthy. There is no should in self-love. There is only truth and choice and kindness. So instead of "I should exercise," what if you said, "I could move my body if I want to feel good"? Instead of "I should call them back," you might say, "I could connect with them when I feel ready." Feel that? The pressure lifts. The energy softens, and you start acting from inspiration, not obligation. So today, we let go of should. We replace it with freedom, and our affirmation becomes, I release the word should and embrace what feels right. Because your intuition, your timing, your needs, they matter more than any external timeline. Be gentle with yourself. You're doing just fine. Now let's talk about a phrase that cuts deep, often without us even noticing. I can't. How often have you said it? I can't change. I can't forgive. I can't afford it. Every time we say I can't, we slam a door shut inside ourselves, and the subconscious, loyal and obedient, takes that as a command. But here's what I want you to understand. Most of the time, I can't really means I'm afraid to try, or I don't know how yet. And that's okay. It's okay to feel unsure, but don't make that feeling into a prison. Instead of saying I can't, try saying, I am learning how to. I am willing to explore new ways. That tiny shift opens the window again. It lets air in. It invites growth. And life, my dear, responds to your willingness, not your perfection, your willingness. So your new affirmation becomes, I am open to discovering new ways. Say it with me. Say it again. Let it echo. Because the moment you say, I am open, you invite in miracles. You open your heart to healing. Let me ask you something. Have you ever caught yourself saying these phrases when you were tired, or scared, or ashamed? That's the clue. That's when the old programming speaks loudest. But here's what I want you to remember. You are not bad for saying these things. You are not wrong. You are simply repeating what you've been taught. And the beautiful part? You can choose to teach yourself something new. You are the teacher now. You are the healer. You are the student and the master. And we're doing this together, phrase by phrase. I used to wake up and hear it before I even opened my eyes. That quiet whisper, you're not good enough. It wasn't loud, it didn't shout, but it was persistent. It wrapped itself around every new beginning, every opportunity, every relationship, every mirror I passed. And I didn't question it, not at first. I assumed it was just the truth, that I needed to fix more, do more, become more before I could deserve love or peace or even rest. But one day, something inside me asked, not with anger, not with blame, but with soft curiosity, who told you that? And my dear, I realized, I did. I told myself that over and over because someone else had told me once or shown me once, and I never stopped repeating it. And what we repeat, we start to believe. What we believe, we start to live. You've been criticizing yourself for years and it hasn't worked. Try approving of yourself and see what happens. That was one of my favorite things to say, because it's not just poetic, it's practical. That old phrase, I'm not good enough, is the root of so many fears. It's the seed that grows into anxiety, perfectionism, procrastination, even chronic illness. Why? Because when the soil of our mind is poisoned with unworthiness, every action becomes a struggle to prove we belong. And that's exhausting. That's not healing. That's surviving. Let's look closer. I'm not good enough implies there's a standard somewhere that we're failing to meet. But who created that standard? Whose voice is it really? A parent, a teacher, a partner, society? We internalized it, sure, but now we have the power to question it. And this is the moment where healing begins, when we stop trying to fix ourselves and start trying to understand ourselves. There is a world of difference between saying, I'm broken, and saying, I've been hurt. So today, I invite you to soften the phrase. Don't try to leap into perfect self-love if that feels too far. Just start with something kind and true. I am learning to love and accept myself. Doesn't that feel gentler? You don't need to be all the way there. You just need to be willing. And every time that old phrase tries to creep back in, just meet it with compassion and a new truth. Say it softly. Say it often. I am more than enough, exactly as I am. Say it even if you don't believe it yet. Especially if you don't believe it yet. Because the body doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's repeated. What you say, your heart begins to feel. What you feel, your life begins to reflect. Now let's move into another phrase that blocks healing, and this one can wear two masks. It's my fault, or it's their fault. At first glance, these sound like opposites. One feels like shame, the other feels like blame. But underneath, they both lead to the same place, stuckness. Whether you carry the weight of everything going wrong or you hand it to someone else, the result is the same. You stay in the story. You stay in the pain. You stay in the wound. Blame is a tricky thing. It gives us temporary relief because it explains the pain. I hurt because they hurt me. But over time it becomes a prison, because the moment we declare it's someone else's fault, we also declare that we are powerless to change it. And that's not who you are. You are not powerless. You are not helpless. You are not the victim of your story. You are the editor. You can write a new page. Now, does this mean we excuse harm? Of course not. But healing isn't about excusing. It's about releasing. Because holding on to blame is like holding on to a hot coal, hoping the other person gets burned. And blame turned inward, it's all my fault, is just shame with a disguise. Shame keeps us looping in the past. But responsibility brings us forward. Responsibility is power. It says I get to choose what happens next. So let's reframe this heavy phrase together. Instead of it's my fault, we say, I take responsibility and release blame. Instead of it's their fault, we say, I choose to free myself from the past. Healing means we stop waiting for an apology to move forward. Healing means we stop punishing ourselves for being human. Healing means we forgive, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. Say it with me now. I forgive and free myself. Say it again. Say it until the air around you begins to shift. Forgiveness is not weakness, it's courage. It's not pretending something didn't happen. It's deciding that what happened no longer defines who you are becoming. You are allowed to change. You are allowed to grow. You are allowed to be free. Have you ever caught yourself whispering, I hate this, or worse, I hate myself? Maybe you didn't mean it in a dramatic way. Maybe it just slipped out, a habit, a moment of frustration. But let me gently ask you something. Do you know what those words do to your healing? Words like, I hate, especially when turned inward, are sharp. They cut the very part of you that's already bleeding. They poison the atmosphere of your mind. And even when you don't fully believe them, your body does. Your subconscious does. And most of all, your inner child does. Every word we speak is an affirmation, I used to say, even when we don't realize it. And when we say, I hate my body, or I hate how I look, or I hate this situation, we are affirming rejection, separation, and suffering. And remember, my dear, healing does not grow in the soil of hatred. It withers, it hides, it contracts. Healing only blooms in the presence of love, or at least in the direction of love. And even if you're not quite ready to say, I love this part of me, that's okay. There's a beautiful middle step, a powerful reframe, and it sounds like this. I'm working on making peace with... Can you feel the shift in that? It's softer, it's honest, it gives you room to breathe. It doesn't demand perfection, it invites compassion. Maybe it's your body, maybe it's your past, maybe it's a relationship, or even a habit you wish you could break. Whatever it is, start here. I'm working on making peace with it. Because peace is not the absence of struggle, it's the presence of willingness. And willingness is enough. So instead of feeding the fire of resentment, we gently extinguish it with a better choice. Say it with me. I choose love over resentment. Again, slower this time. Let your whole being receive it. I choose love over resentment. You don't have to feel love yet. You just have to choose it. Choose it again and again until it becomes your new habit, your new default, your new frequency. Because love heals what judgment only hides. Now let's explore another phrase that loves to sneak in unnoticed. What if? You know the one. What if I fail? What if they leave? What if it all goes wrong? The mind thinks it's protecting you. It's trying to prepare you for disappointment, but in doing so, it's actually rehearsing pain over and over. And what happens when we rehearse pain? We experience it before it even arrives. And sometimes it never arrives, but we suffer anyway. You don't have to suffer the future before it happens, I often reminded my clients. You deserve peace now. The truth is, what if isn't the problem. It's the direction we take it. Because what if can also open the door to miracles. What if I succeed? What if life blesses me in unexpected ways? What if this is actually working out for my highest good? Do you see the difference? One version drains your spirit. The other expands your hope. But let's be honest, when you're in a spiral of fear, it's hard to leap straight into optimism. That's why we use a bridge, a gentle step between worry and trust. The reframe is, even if I trust I'll handle it, it doesn't deny that challenges exist. It just affirms your strength in facing them. Even if I lose this opportunity, I trust that something better is coming. Even if I feel afraid, I trust that I'll find my way. This kind of thinking doesn't make you naive. It makes you powerful. It brings you back to your center. And then we seal the shift with this affirmation. I expect the best and I trust life. Say it again. Say it like a prayer. I expect the best and I trust life. Because life is not your enemy. Life is your partner, your co-creator. And even when things don't go the way you planned, life is always working with you, not against you. Your job is not to control everything. Your job is to keep choosing trust. Now let's take a deep breath together. Inhale, exhale, and feel into this next phrase, one of the most dangerous ones we can say. I'll never heal. I'll never find love. I'll never have enough money. These are not just sad statements, they're contracts. They lock the door on possibility. They close the curtain before the scene has even played out. And I want to say this clearly, my dear. Nothing kills a miracle faster than the words, I'll never. Because when we say I'll never, what we really mean is, I'm afraid. Afraid it's too late. Afraid we're too broken. Afraid we've missed our turn. But fear disguised as certainty is still fear. And here's the truth you might need today. You don't need to know how. You just need to stay open. Stay open a little longer than the doubt. Stay open a little wider than the pain. Let's reframe this heavy phrase now. Instead of saying, I'll never, we say, I am open to what I once thought impossible. Let those words enter your body. Let them soften the rigidity. Miracles don't need your control. They need your openness. They need your yes, even a trembling yes, even a whispered yes. And the affirmation to carry forward is this: life surprises me in beautiful ways. Doesn't that feel like a gift? Say it with wonder. Life surprises me in beautiful ways. That phrase alone can open doors you didn't even know were there. Because when you shift from never to maybe, from impossible to I'm willing, from why bother to why not, you give life permission to do what it does best: delight you, transform you, restore you. It's always like this. Maybe with a sigh of exhaustion, maybe after one more disappointment, or maybe in that quiet, defeated voice you only use with yourself when no one else is around to hear. It's a phrase that seems innocent, but carries so much weight. It anchors you to a belief that nothing will change, that the pattern you're in is permanent, that life is on a loop and you're trapped inside it. And yet, What if that's not true? What if today is not like yesterday? What if just because something has happened many times doesn't mean it must happen again? You see, the moment you say, "It's always like this," you shut the door on the very possibility of newness. And you are not here to live the same story over and over. You are not here to suffer reruns of pain. You are here to grow. You are here to surprise yourself. You are here to evolve again and again and again. So instead of saying, "It's always like this," what if you tried something softer, something more hopeful, something that your inner child can believe in? Try this. Today, something new is possible. Can you feel that? Even just a sliver of that truth? A new conversation could happen. A new idea could come. A new response inside you could change the way you experience everything. Newness is not about erasing the past. It's about being present enough to let this moment be different. So place your hand on your heart and whisper, "I welcome fresh experiences and new beginnings. I give life permission to surprise me in beautiful ways." And now let's talk about something I used to hear all the time from people, and even catch myself saying, "I'm so stupid." Oh, that little sentence. Sometimes it's said with a laugh, a bit of sarcasm, after a mistake like dropping your phone or forgetting your keys. Sometimes it's whispered in shame when you misstep in a relationship or feel like you should have known better. But even when it's wrapped in humor, the body hears it, the subconscious records it, and over time, you start to live into it. I want to say this very clearly. You are not stupid. You are a learning, evolving, courageous soul doing your best with the awareness you've had. Mistakes are not proof of failure. They are signs of growth. Every new step comes with stumbles. Babies fall when they learn to walk, but we never call them stupid. We cheer for their bravery, and you deserve the same compassion. So the next time you hear that old reflex saying, "I'm so stupid," gently pause and choose a new path. Say instead, "I am learning, growing, and improving." Say, "I speak kindly to myself with compassion." Because if you want to become your most powerful self, you must stop being your harshest critic and start becoming your biggest encourager. And what a difference that makes. When your inner voice becomes loving, your whole life becomes safer to bloom in. Speak to yourself as you would a beloved child. Speak hope, speak softness, speak belief. Let's move now to one of the most common and destructive phrases we whisper when we feel overwhelmed. It's too hard. Maybe it's whispered late at night when the tears won't stop. Maybe it's spoken under your breath when you face a setback that seems impossible to climb out of. Or maybe it's the silent background thought that keeps you from even trying. It's too hard. But what if that statement doesn't reflect the full truth? What if it's not too hard and just new, just unfamiliar, just something you haven't fully understood yet? Let's shift this. Instead of saying, "It's too hard," say, "This may take time, but I can find my way." You say, "I am capable of learning anything I set my heart to." Because you are. You've already done hard things. You've already survived so much. And here's something even deeper. When you reframe challenge as something you can grow through, your nervous system relaxes. Your brain starts looking for solutions instead of shutdown. Your heart stays open instead of retreating. You may not know how yet, but you can trust that the how will come, one step at a time. The mountain may look steep, but your feet are stronger than you think, and you never have to climb alone. Life wants to support you. So next time it feels hard, say this gently to yourself. It's okay to take this slowly. I don't have to do it all at once. I am learning, I am growing, I am capable, I am supported, and keep walking, even if your steps are small. Every brave step counts. Let's talk now about a sentence that quietly blocks so many blessings. I don't deserve. You may not say it out loud. You may not even realize you believe it, but it shows up in small ways. You deflect compliments. You downplay your dreams. You sabotage good things before they fully arrive. You say things like, "This is too good to be true," or "People like me don't get that." Where does that come from? Somewhere along the way, you were taught that worth had to be earned, that love was conditional, that success had to be paid for with suffering. But none of that is true. Your worth is not up for debate. It's not something you work your way up to. It's something you were born with. So let's gently challenge that old belief. Instead of saying, "I don't deserve," let your heart whisper, "I am ready to receive with joy." Let it bloom into, "I am worthy of all that is good." Because the truth is, the universe doesn't bless you because you're perfect. It blesses you because you're open. And when you believe in your own deservingness, you become a magnet for grace. You allow love to land. You allow opportunities to stay. You allow healing to complete. So when you feel that resistance, that subtle feeling that you're not enough, pause and say, "I welcome joy. I welcome love. I welcome success. I am worthy now." Not someday. Not when you fix more. Right now, exactly as you are, worthy. And finally, let's look at a phrase that may seem small, but is deeply powerful in how it affects your healing journey. My illness. You may be thinking, but isn't it mine? It's happening to me. And yes, your experience is real, your symptoms are valid, and your pain deserves compassion. But when you constantly say, "My illness, my pain, my anxiety, my condition," something subtle happens. Your subconscious hears, "This is part of my identity. This is who I am." And that can make healing harder. So I invite you to lovingly shift your language. Instead of saying "my illness," try saying, "This is a temporary imbalance. It is not who I am." Speak to your body with reverence, not ownership of the problem. Say, "My body is returning to balance. I support its healing." You are not your diagnosis. You are not your condition. You are a whole, radiant being experiencing a temporary state. And you are capable of change. The body listens. The cells respond to words, emotion, belief. So speak healing, speak love, speak trust. Your body is your ally, not your enemy. And when you shift from ownership of illness to partnership in healing, you step into a different frequency, one of empowerment, possibility, and hope. So say it again if you'd like. "This is temporary. My body is healing. I trust the process. I nourish myself with love." And take one small healing action today. Maybe rest, maybe water, maybe affirmation. Each act of love matters. You've just walked through 13 powerful statements that once held you back, and you've gently reframed them into doorways of hope. That's not small work. That's inner alchemy. And I want you to pause for a moment and notice something. You just did a full cycle of healing, all by changing your words. That's the power you hold, and it's always available to you. Language isn't just how we describe our lives, it's how we design them. So take a breath with me now. Place your hand on your heart and repeat these softly. Today, something new is possible. I speak kindly to myself with compassion. I am capable of learning anything I set my heart to. I am worthy of all that is good. My body is returning to balance. I support its healing. There is such beauty in the gentleness you offer yourself. And the truth is, healing doesn't demand perfection. It simply invites awareness, a new way of noticing, a willingness to pause before you speak and ask your heart, is this love? Because every word you choose becomes part of the life you are creating. You are shaping your world with your thoughts, your tone, your tender or tired voice. So let's soften the way we speak. Let's choose language that uplifts, not diminishes. You've already taken such a powerful step simply by noticing the words you want to change. That alone is an act of self-love, and you don't have to do it all at once. Start small, one phrase, one moment, one gentle correction. Catch yourself when the old voice returns, not with shame but with kindness. Say, there it is again, but I'm learning, and I choose love now. The new language doesn't have to be grand or poetic. It just has to be true. It just has to be kind. Speak to yourself the way you wish someone had spoken to you when you were hurting. Speak to yourself like someone who is deeply worthy of care, because you are. You may be surprised how quickly things shift when your inner dialogue softens. Doors open, energy returns, peace replaces tension. And most of all, you begin to feel safe again. Safe to grow, safe to heal, safe to receive. That safety begins with your words. So today, if all you do is say, I'm trying, then that is enough. If all you do is whisper, I'm learning to love myself, that is more than enough. If all you do is catch one old phrase and replace it with one new one, you are healing. You are changing your world. And remember, my dear, the most powerful words are often the simplest. Say them often. Say them gently. I love you. You are enough. You are safe. It's okay to be learning. You are doing better than you think. You are allowed to begin again. You are loved. Now take a deep breath. Place your hand on your heart and say this with me. I am willing to release the old. I welcome the new. I am safe to heal. I am ready to grow. I love myself. You are doing beautifully, my dear. Keep speaking life into your life. I love you.